Good morning, everybody. Do you use coins much? Probably not like we used to, but it was on this date, April 2 in 1792, that the U.S. Mint was established. Coins have been around a long time. Here's a Roman coin. They would have whichever emperor was in charge on the coin. And our event, April 2, 1792, the U.S. Mint was set up in Philadelphia. Prior to this, there was all kinds of money circulating in the States, Spanish money, British money, French money, so now we have our own. So the Fugio cent was the first coin made by the Mint. Fugio comes from the Latin to fly, and the idea was that time is flying, so mind your own business. That's what it says. And business here meant commercial things, but it could also mean just whatever you're doing. Ben Franklin's idea. And initially the Mint was part of the State Department, but eventually it got moved over to the Treasury Department, which is where it is today. Now there are lots of mints in the country, San Francisco, Denver, Philly, and so on. Fort Knox has its own mint, which is a little bit different. And the coins all have certain characteristics, including a mint mark. Like on this quarter, you can see a P for Philadelphia. So as the nation expanded to the west, issues came up about the mint, and particularly in the gold fields and the silver fields, California, the Rocky Mountains, because there was no mint out there. People were making their own coins. And this is a fascinating study of private coin companies that would make gold coins or silver coins. So eventually the Mint set up shop in Denver and in San Francisco to be closer to the gold fields and where all the silver was being mined. So what does the Mint do today? Well, one of its things is to make gold bullion, gold bars, gold coins. Bullion comes from a French word for boiling, and it has to do with melting down metal to get out the impurities. Another thing that the Mint does is make commemorative medals, and these are under the authority of the Secretary of Treasury. For instance, there was a Rosie the Riveter medal. But then Congress also does medals, and that comes out of the Mint too. And here's a congressional medal acknowledging Filipinos who fought on our side during World War II. The Mint also is involved in special coins. You may recall during the bicentennial, each state had its own special coin. So these are able to be used for legal tender, but they're still a little bit special. And then another thing the Mint does is supply coins to the Federal Reserve Banks. So the Federal Reserve System was set up in the early 1900s. Here is the map of where the Federal Reserve Banks are, and the Mint supplies coins to these. So the official bullion coin of the Mint is the American Gold Eagle, pictured here. So this is the official gold coin. And then there are silver dollars too, and here's one from 1921 called the Morgan silver dollar, but silver dollars never really caught on. Sacagawea, Susan B. Anthony, we tend to like paper dollars in our country. One that's really fascinating is the double eagle, because the single eagle was worth so much and the double eagle was worth double that. The one from 1933, when gold was taken out of circulation, sold at auction for $8 million back in the early 2000s. So if you see a $20 gold coin at 7-Eleven, you pick that up. Now, Fort Knox is a real fort. It was established in 1861 south of Louisville, Kentucky, named after Henry Knox, chief of the artillery during the Revolution. And right adjoining it is the U.S. Bullion Depository. And people associate this with Fort Knox because they're quite close to each other, but they're really two distinct things. Currently, there's about $300 billion worth of gold at Fort Knox, about 60% of the U.S. gold reserves. So we have gold elsewhere too, but over half of it is at Fort Knox. So lots of ways to spend your money, digital, paper, etc., but who doesn't like coins in their pocket?